everybody. I'm Jill Nicolini, your host for Convention TV, and on behalf of the team at Sound and Communications, welcome to InfoComm 2019. As always, I'll be bringing you the latest happenings and the biggest product releases from this year's show, and I'm joined once again by our field reporter, Hester Van Hooven, who will be reporting from the Orange County Convention Center. Ready for another InfoComm, Hester?
I sure am, Jill. InfoComm is always the #1 place to see the latest and greatest from the commercial AV industry, and there's been a ton of new developments since last year. The crew and I can't wait to see what the show has in store for us this year.
I feel the same way, Hester. This is shaping up to be a jam-packed 3 days at InfoComm. Now, as we all know, the AV industry is constantly changing, and the past year has brought even more change. The rise of esports has been a tremendous boon to the commercial AV market, and the rollout of Dante AV and the Milan Protocol demonstrate the sustained popularity of network systems. Advances in unified communications have really transformed the workplace, collaboration, and education, and the industry-wide emphasis on the user experience has fundamentally changed how AV professionals approach system design. Meanwhile, facial recognition and crowd monitoring are offering more real-time analytics than ever before. We'll explore all these topics and much, much more during this year's show. But first things first, let's check in with our host here at InfoComm 2019, and that, of course, is Avixa. Convention TV caught up with Rochelle Richardson, Senior Vice President of Expositions and Events, to learn what all of us can look forward to over the next 3 days of InfoComm.
We can already feel the excitement here in Orlando for InfoComm 2019. What can our viewers expect from the Avixa team this year?
Oh, our attendees have so much to expect here for InfoComm 2019. The energy is just, the excitement here in the air is just incredible. So we are going to welcome nearly 44,000 attendees here in Orlando for InfoComm 2019 with the official ribbon cutting ceremony which precedes the opening of the trade show floor. The trade show floor will open on Wednesday and Thursday from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. and on Friday from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. We are going to have technology solutions and products at its best from the nearly 1,000 exhibitors that are going to be featured in our exhibit halls. We invite everyone to come out and take a look and peek at some of the pavilions that we have offered inside the exhibit halls. We also have Center Stage, which is going to have some of the best industry experts speaking, and they'll have the opportunity to meet our speakers and presenters up close. We also have the park, where individuals can network and also partake of some of the food and beverage that is being served inside the exhibit hall. We are also featuring this Vietavit sculpture. We will also have seminars and workshops and education that's being offered all here at InfoComm 2019. Not to mention the Avixa booth, which is offered on the lower lobby area for our members as well as individuals that are interested in joining Avixa's membership. We thank everyone that is here, and we look forward to inviting all of you to InfoComm 2019.
One trend we've been observing for a few years now is the rise of software-based solutions. Although hardware will always be critical to deploying outstanding AV systems, you only have to look around the show floor to see that countless companies are leading with their innovative software offerings. Convention TV caught up with a few manufacturers to get their perspective on the potential that emerging software solutions have.
That's right, Jill. As I've scoped out the convention center and talked to the exhibitors, all of them seem to want to talk about their software-based innovations. It truly is a new and exciting age in the AV industry. Let's hear what some of them had to say.
What are some of the factors driving the AV industry towards software-based solutions?
Software is really cool. You take a lot of hardware ideas and you virtualize them with software. A lot of physical boxes become computers, and computers you can network and define them by software, upgrade them remotely if you need to, adjust them without having to throw out hardware when you want to upgrade. So software gives you a whole lot more agility and scale, and it's a lot cheaper. When you apply things with software, you save a lot of money usually too.
What's the most exciting software advancement recently achieved in the commercial AV industry?
Well, Dan, I'm going to talk about hardware real quick. I think the biggest change in the AV industry that we're going to see momentum in the next 5 years, let's say, is a shift to common off-the-shelf hardware platforms like Intel. as opposed to AV-specific hardware being built from the ground up. And so I know it's funny you asked about software, but really it comes down to what kind of hardware are you targeting with that software. Today in the AV space, we have software that touches a lot of AV-specific products. In the future, I think you'll see software delivery models where the software itself is the product and it runs on something that's off the shelf, just like we do with QSys today.
You're seeing a lot of focus on machine learning and cloud and AI, analytics, all these different things, but the cloud is becoming this massive environmental impact of the entire industry. So we're driving engagement differently, we're driving collaboration differently. It's at the point now where cloud is becoming less of the term everybody's wondering about and more about the norm. So if you're not delivering platforms and solutions that are focused around the cloud, you're not delivering a solution anymore. You're seeing every company, whether they're an AV company, whether they're a signage company, the cloud becomes more and more important to them. And if you look even within NEC, our focus with the analytics platform, with the Infinity board and all the different solutions we're doing, the cloud is an instrumental part of that.
Despite its name, Pliant Technology's newest wireless intercom system offers a value proposition that's anything but micro. The MicroComm wireless intercom system provides single-channel, full-duplex multi-user intercom. It suits applications where high-quality audio and excellent range are essential. The system features small, water-resistant, lightweight bell packs, and it provides excellent sound quality and a long battery life. In addition, the Smart Boom series of Pliant headsets now includes versions that are usable with MicroComm bell packs. High-quality sound is brought to you by the letter P. Rankis Heinz's P-Series compact point source speakers combine latest generation complex conic horn geometry with coentrant mid-high driver technology. They deliver uncompromising detail and extreme SPLs. The company's SA amps deliver advanced amplification, processing, and protection for consistent, reliable performance. Application-focused speakers and comprehensive accessory packages have been designed to address the acoustical and logistical challenges of live sound reinforcement, from mains and fills to stage and control room monitoring. Lighten your load with Platinum Tools' new unloaded patch panel line. The new 24 and 48 port line is available in shielded and unshielded varieties. They make media integration easy, flexible, and field configurable by populating the ports as needed. And they make it easy to mix and match keystones, replace a damaged port, and add new runs. They also make category upgrades easy and maximize limited rack space. Stay with us. Convention TV at InfoComm. We'll be right back right after these messages.
Sound and communications. Since 1955, keeping readers up to speed on the latest AV technologies and how they are applied in commercial applications. Technologies from enterprise, augmented reality, AVL integration, BYOD, and digital signage are changing the world in unimaginable ways. Subscribe to Sound and Communications and our weekly wire or monthly newsletters free at soundandcommunications.com/subscribe or visit us at booth L11 in the main lobby area.
Welcome back. Let's go to our brand new segment here on Convention TV at InfoComm, where we share the insights of David Danto. David's the new editor of ITAV Report and the director of emerging technologies with the IMCCA. He's joined by Dan Farisi, editor of Sound and Communications. Today they'll discuss AI and machine learning as they relate to AV and collaboration.
Hollywood scriptwriters have probably given some people pause when it comes to AI and its implications. But let's talk about the real world. What developments are you monitoring as it relates to machine learning?
The demand that I keep hearing from users of our technology is frictionless. How do we bring about the experience of walking over to one of our AV or unified communication systems and just using it without any startup hassles? AI and machine learning are already improving the situation. We have cameras now that automatically zoom in and frame shots, so you don't have to pick up a remote control. We have the earliest versions of voice control being enabled in some of the devices in some of the rooms. We have to, as an industry, build on that. All the information needed to start my meeting correctly is in the calendar invitation right in my mobile. It's got the platform that I'm using, the participants that are involved, the content that would be shown, and everything else. We need to get the machine learning to a point where that information is read by a smart system and the user can just walk in and opt into the meeting and have everything done automatically for them. It should select the right technology, add the right systems, dial the right components, engage any needed gateways, and just start the meeting. It shouldn't be complicated. It should be frictionless.
When you mention opt-in, is that related to the security of the data and technology?
Yes, exactly. There's a great deal of legitimate fear about what data gets sent to the cloud, what private content might be revealed, and what personal information we may be exposing, especially in light of the GDPR regulations in Europe. Our system's cameras are smart enough to recognize our face, and the mics can recognize our voice and identify who we are, but I presume we don't really want them to unless they're responding to a user-specific request. The opt-in, which we're suggesting here, can be a gesture, or it can be a swipe of an RFID card, or it can be something we haven't even thought of yet. But it has to be something that lets the user tell the system's AI that they want it to take the specific action. Organizations that are less concerned with privacy are already using some of the early voice control platforms to activate their meetings. But AI and machine learning won't break out of that early adopter phase until the security issues are fully resolved.
Thanks, David. I suspect we'll be seeing more on this topic in future editions of ITAV Report. Where can people find you here at InfoComm?
Sure, I'll be walking the exhibit floor, all over the place, or you can come visit with me in the Poly booth, which is 3461.
Great. Now let's go back to Jill in the studio.
If there's one word that defines our industry more than any other, it's experience. Rather than being system installers, today's AV integrators are storytellers and memory makers. That's because more than ever, AV professionals have come to realize that our industry's technology is uniquely capable of giving people experiences that they'll never forget. We talked to some of commercial AV's thought leaders about how experience is everything.
Jill, I couldn't agree more. Walking around the convention center here in Orlando, all I see are AV professionals who are singularly focused on giving their clients the experience of a lifetime. Here's what they had to say.
What does experience mean to you in the context of commercial AV?
I think the experience today needs to be very rich experience. It needs to be intuitive, it needs to be natural for the users. And I think it's similar to driving a car, riding a bike. When you get in a car, you don't want to think about how that engine is working. You want to just be able to use the car for what it's there for. And I think technology is similar. You also have to have good business outcomes that relate to how that technology is deployed within the organization. It has to have cultural benefits to the organization. It can't impede what that organization is doing for their line of business.
I think that we have a lot of dreamers of dreams who need makers of things to make those dreams of reality. And those dreamers of dreams have massive amounts of business for the makers of things that form the backbone of this industry. These are people that want to reimagine new worlds at both, experiential, event-driven things like South by Southwest or Electric Daisy Carnival, but also who want to reimagine the way that we work or the way that we shop. And they need people who have the technological sophistication and the design experience to take these wild ideas and tame them and make them a reality that is going to become the future of how we live, work, shop, and play.
Let's check in with Hester down on the show floor. Hester, I hear you're over at the StarDraw.com booth. That's one that every InfoComm showgoer's got to check out each year. So let's see what you found.
It's so nice to see you again, Rob. So what can the viewers look forward to seeing here at StarDraw this year?
Well, Hester, as you say, after all these years, we are showing StarDraw Design 7.3, and that's the latest version of our award-winning, but now 7th generation design and documentation software that we've developed from the ground up specifically for professional AV systems integrators. So with StarDraw Design 7.3, integrators can generate all of their project documentation, like block schematics and sales presentations, rack layouts, floor plans, reflected ceiling plans, cable schedules, and the like. And with this latest version, it's now natively 64-bit. And that means that users can support the largest possible project sizes, accessing all of their computer's memory. And we've added some really cool features like importing equipment lists and attribute values from a spreadsheet. So that's a really quick way to build a project. And so this is what we're demonstrating right here at the show, StarDraw Design 7.3.
Great job, great interview, Hester. Keep up the great work. And speaking of great work, I want to give a shout out to the team at Sound and Communications for all their help in putting Convention TV together for us. Thank you so much, guys. Okay, moving on. If you've been paying attention to AVIXA over the past couple of years, you know the association's made a tremendous investment in producing high-quality research for and about our industry. Let's go down to the show floor now to chat with Sean Wargo, Senior Director of Market Intelligence, who has some insights into the AV opportunities available in different markets.
So we all know the commercial AV industry is made up of numerous different verticals and market segments. How are the opportunities different among them?
Great question. So we've done a lot of research over the past year into various vertical markets to kind of understand the true end user in them, the consumer, to really look at what differentiates their needs across. What we've learned is several things. One thing is the use of audio and how important that is to the experience. So if you're in a sports venue, an auditorium, a concert, etc., that's a crucial part. In other markets like corporate, you've got collaboration technologies, the need to work with others, hospitality, retail, are very interested in the branding. So how are they communicating the brand out to their clientele, the consumers? So all of that shapes the types of solutions that are brought to the market and differentiates how you have to approach them and the language you have to speak as well.
And are some markets looking especially attractive or lucrative at this time?
We've covered a number of different markets. There's certainly a lot of growth happening in the core of the industry, the corporate market, where you have office spaces, et cetera, trying to bring in new technologies for collaboration. But we have hospitality, healthcare, particularly attractive, particularly as we look at potential recessionary periods in the future. Healthcare always survives that and does really, really well. So that's an area where we're starting to see a lot more investment in technologies that allow for remote communication with patients, better experiences in hospitals and healthcare facilities. So those in particular, I'd say I think our highest growing vertical at this point is healthcare, even though corporate remains the largest for the industry.
Don't go anywhere, because Convention TV at InfoComm will be right back after these messages.
Dante meets SDVOE at booth 1161. Transports Dante audio and 4K 60 frame latency video over a single Cat6 or fiber cable. We have a number of Dante and SDVOE solutions on display. While you're there, don't forget to ask about our turnkey projection mapping solution. Arista, booth 1161.
Welcome back to Convention TV at InfoComm. This program is brought to you by Testa Communications, publisher of Sound and Communications and ITAV Report, the leading publications in commercial AV. You can watch Convention TV on displays located throughout the Orange County Convention Center and in select hotels. Each episode runs 24 hours a day, so you can watch whenever you like. And you can also watch us on demand on any device. Just go to soundandcommunications.com and click on the Convention TV at InfoComm tab at the top of the page. Now, let's get back to our continuing coverage of InfoComm 2019. I've just heard from Hester, who's checking out Community Professional Loudspeakers demo room, and they're showcasing some really cool products in room W224E. And Convention TV will bring you all those details. Hey, Hester, what does the community have going on right now?
I'm here at Community with Paul Peace. So I hear that you have a new product that is a horn that behaves like an array. Can you tell me more about this?
Absolutely. Yeah, we call it the LVH 900 beamforming venue horn. And what that is a single point source, large format loudspeaker that has an array of high frequency and mid frequency drivers, all energizing one large format horn. It gives us the power of a line array in terms of beam forming. It's not necessarily beam steering, but beam forming. And from Community, it's a new entry that's bringing venues to life.
Thank you so much, Hester. Very cool stuff. And we've got plenty more where that came from, so make sure you stay tuned right after the break. We'll be back.
For any job, you need the right tool. With StarDraw's latest software, you can save even more time and money creating system schematics, layout drawings, and all your project documentation. See the new features in StarDraw Design 7.3, the fast, easy way to draw and do more, at booth 2560.
We're back with more continuing coverage of InfoComm 2019, Day 1. The show is off to a great start as usual, and a who's who of the commercial AV industry is here in Orlando to check out the newest products and solutions. But InfoComm isn't only about software and gear, it's also where AV professionals come to learn more about how to serve their clients. With that in mind, we're proud to bring back a segment we created last year on Convention TV. In this segment, we feature the observations of Jim Maltese, VP of Quality Standards with Level 3 Audiovisual, who also writes Sound and Communications Monthly, the Commish column. Joining him is John Carr, Associate Publisher of Sound and Communications. They'll be discussing the complexities of global enterprise clients.
Thanks, Jill. Every client presents challenges and opportunities, but there's no question that new challenges arise when you're dealing with thousands of systems on a global enterprise scale. What are some of the complexities you've come across?
There are tons of complexities, John, especially when systems are rolled out globally. First, there are the difficulties of procurement around the world in terms of tax laws, language barriers, product sourcing, product safety requirements, as well as getting support on products in the US that will be sold elsewhere. Another huge challenge is managing the systems once they have been deployed, oftentimes remotely. It's difficult enough to update firmware on a single device. Imagine the stress involved in updating firmware at 3 a.m. on thousands of devices in systems around the world with a shoestring support staff. Systems for enterprise clients have to be designed and installed with that in mind, ideally with network management that allows for this level of access. But the most troubling complexity is providing a consistent level of performance by every system, no matter who provided it. Enterprise users are demanding the same experience whether they present from California, Beijing, or Mumbai. If the technology manager is not insisting that all their teams follow the same quality management standard, things are going to get squirrely.
The integration community has proven itself quite adaptable and able to evolve. What strategies are integrators utilizing to serve global enterprise clients in the way they deserve to be served?
The first step is working with manufacturers who get it. Many manufacturers don't offer enterprise client support and instead offer region-based support only. Aligning with manufacturers that can move product globally and that understand project team members may be located at different places around the world will go a long way. Additionally, many AV service providers are helping technology managers develop global standards in terms of function, equipment, and performance specifications. If these documents are well thought out and have teeth, they can go a long way in providing that consistency. And there has to be a well-defined end game. What exactly does a finished project look like from a functional, performance, and documentation standpoint? People spend a lot of time at the front end of the project and may run out of hours near the end, resulting in systems that are never truly complete. Defining what completion means and making sure all stakeholders agree to that definition is the only way to run a project, especially at an enterprise scale.
Thanks, Jim. We look forward to having you back tomorrow for another great discussion. Let's go to Jill in the studio.
Digico is showcasing new software upgrades for the SD12 and SD10. Users can supercharge their SD12s by taking them from 72 to 96 channels and from 36 to 48 aux groups with the new SD12 96 upgrade. And in addition, the free SD10 Plus upgrade, only available for Core 2 consoles, expands the SD10 from 132 to 144 input channels. Both upgrades continue Digico's commitment to providing continued value on their clients' original console investment. Prepare for takeoff with Atlas IED's new IED 570CH touchscreen mic station. Fully programmable via the touchscreen, it eliminates the need for airline personnel to use physical buttons to start the boarding sequence. Each sequence can be pre-programmed to begin automatically, and gate personnel can see a preview of the boarding process on the screen. Gate agents can control the pre-programmed sequences at the touch of a finger, and the mic offers excellent audio intelligibility for enhanced customer service. Thank you so much for watching. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Convention TV, your #1 source for what's happening at InfoComm. Let's go back down to the show floor. Hester is at the Arista booth to check out the company's new video projection mapping turnkey system. This compact all-in-one solution for projection mapping applications definitely piqued our interest. Were you able to get some more details for us, Hester?
Projection mapping is becoming very widespread these days. I'm here with Kevin Winkler at Arista to talk about their turnkey projection mapping solution.
Yeah, so we have a custom server which has 3 AMD WX9100 Pros with a sync card. Those have 6 DisplayPort outputs on each one that are synced, frame and refresh synced. We've got a NVMe RAID, which gives you like around 3,500 megabits a second, so you can store all of your media on that. So those go directly into our Blade system, the ARD5816, which is configurable with HD-based T, AV over IP, several different configurations. So it's really great for the projection mapping because you can take those right in one rack, have all of your outputs, and run up to 320 feet to each projector, which gives you full control and 4K to each projector.
Who's ready to take center stage? Of course, I'm referring to Center Stage here at InfoComm. It's the hub for creative discussions, featuring leading thinkers and practitioners from the fields of retail, entertainment, hospitality, events, and education. Want to learn more? I know I do. Let's go to the show floor and catch up with Rochelle Bradshaw, Director of Program Design, to learn more about what's going on at Center Stage.
Rachel, I'm feeling more creative and inspired already. So tell our viewers about the exciting things going on here at Center Stage.
Thank you, Hester. You know, it really is exciting. We have a great lineup of speakers put together by our program director, Kirsten Nelson, on both core AV vertical market topics like education or live events, but also emerging markets like retail and hospitality. And not only do we have this great slate of presentations, but we actually have opportunities for our attendees to meet and network with our Center Stage presenters this year at some new events we're calling Meet the Experts, also at a new workshop and brainstorming event we're calling Cohort Lab. And pro tip, our Friday lineup on Center Stage is utterly bananas. We have this group of people from places like Leviathan, Moment Factory, Gensler, Arup, Samsung, who are all talking about these emerging ways to use AV to change people's lives. It's going to be a really fun day, and if you come on that final day of InfoComm and experience those speakers, then you'll be able to actually brainstorm with them on emerging topics at the Cohort Lab at the end of the day. It's going to be like no Center Stage has ever been before.
As the worlds of AV and IT have become more entangled and inseparable, AV professionals have increasingly had to familiarize themselves with enterprise-level network security issues. And with more signals, both audio and video, riding on the network every day, the learning curve is only going to get steeper. Let's explore this topic with folks who are tackling these issues every day.
Thanks, Jill. When we hear the word convergence now, it's almost become passé because the truth is our industry has already converged. IT professionals are already deeply intertwined with AV systems, especially those that are on the network. Let's talk about security-related issues with some of those here at the show.
Security is all about the weakest link being the threat. And so we're at one provider, one place, one building, the threat is going to change. And so the thing is that it requires major education, and probably the single biggest threat is that a lot of people are still under the impression that security is not a constantly evolving thing, but is a one time I've done it and now I'm secure. Security is a living beast and must constantly be addressed and updated.
Is there something that our industry's manufacturers are doing or could be doing to ensure that AV systems do not pose a threat to enterprise networks?
I think a really important trend in that regard is the move away from proprietary AV over IP approaches and into standardized approaches. What this means for the integrator man on the street is now, instead of having to learn the different vulnerabilities and security procedures and protocols necessary for dozens of different products and different approaches, instead he could be trained up on one stable, secure platform and use that for deploying all AV over IP systems in a secure way.
How well prepared do you feel today's AV integrators are to discuss network security issues with IT professionals?
So Dan, I think that the average integrator is a lot better prepared today than they've ever been. If we had been having this conversation just a couple of years ago, I probably would have given us a poor rating. But there are critical software applications that are driving complex audio systems, room scheduling systems, and digital signage networks that demand AV integrators become proficient with IT systems and with IT security. So I think it's kind of forced us down that path, and I think we're doing a much better job now.
Well, folks, that's all for our first day of coverage, but there's plenty more where that came from. So I hope you'll join us again tomorrow for Convention TV and Sound and Communications. I'm Jill Nicolini. Thank you so much for tuning in.